So hello, Jeremy, how are you?
Doing well, Maka. Thank you very much for having me today. Oh, and happy Earth Day, by the way. It's great to be here with you this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Jeremy. And I am so happy to have you here in the CPTED Talk space because you are doing so an incredible work in the United States, but also in a global scale. You are the editor of the ICA Newsletter, so you are doing great, Jeremy. If you may, I will start reading your biography and then we start.
Yeah. Please, thank you.
Super, thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy Rear. As a project manager and associate at Malum Architects, Jeremy holds 23 years of experience and maintains a strong commitment to the development of innovative learning, living and healing environments. Offering a record of successful projects, he raises awareness of safe, comfortable, and equitable environments while engaging design research and practice considering first, second, and third generation CPTED principles. Jeremy recently completed the award-winning Du Potois Hall at Umpqua Community College in Roseburg, Oregon, USA. The Oregon Department of Education as a certificate holder. Jeremy has been a member of ICA since 2018 and a member of the ICA Board of Directors since 2020. Jeremy is also the Executive Director of SACE Cascadia, and a regional alliance promoting sustainable and resilient neighborhoods. So welcome, Jeremy. Welcome to the CPTED Talks. Let's start with the first question. When did you hear about CPTED, Jeremy?
So while I was at the University of Oregon, I had studied the writings of Jane Jacobs, research by Oscar Newman, and other influential urban planners who promoted established communities. And they were very influential to my education perception of design and the built environment. My current work involves places of learning, living, and healing, like you were saying in my bio. Those being primary, secondary, and higher education, student housing, healthcare, and healthcare environments. So those environments require considerable focus of safety, comfort, sustainability in their design.
It's beautiful. Beautiful your career regarding also CPTED third generation.
Yes, this has been a wonderful opportunity to be able to think on that level with these different environments, because it's very important that these folks who inhabit these spaces feel comfortable and safe. And it's part of their growing, part of their learning, and part of their healing as they go through life. And so I had a distinct opportunity to design a replacement college building where a terrible crime occurred. And the focus of the project was to make it safer through a passive design approach rather than fortifying a new building. Engagement with the community on that project was very much focused on examining the problem, building trust, and building consensus. And it was all about building community, which is very much inherent with what we do every day as practitioners and especially with CPTED. And also in recent years, our office has been conducting a lot of post-occupancy research, which has informed us how important safe and comfortable environments are to the spaces that we envision. I started to do more research into CPTED and rediscovering the important work that the pioneers such as Jane Jacobs, C. Ray Jeffrey, and Oscar Newman had done. I also discovered at that time ICA and Safe Growth, which of course was co-developed by some of our fellow colleagues. And that has been has inspired my work and how I engage with communities that I work with. And then I immediately joined ICA during that time because it was evident that the topic of CPTED was most comprehensively addressed there. And I trusted that I would learn more accurately what CPTED was all about and how it was evolving. And we're seeing that now. I was also very fond to learn the connections to the original pioneers were represented in this organization as well, such as Randy Atlas and Craig Seville. I even tried to attend an ICA workshop in Calgary that year, but unfortunately that was canceled that time. And I was so bummed because I was so eager to meet and learn from folks with the same mindset. So soon after, I had turned to my good friend and fellow Malum and ICA colleague, Renee Barrett, and I asked him about his experience with safety and security, because I knew that he had done some really amazing research on safety and comfort in learning environments. And so we started to collaborate our thoughts and developed a very compelling framework around safety and security that we called the threat spectrum, which addresses everything from external threats to environmental threats in spaces that we occupy, live, and learn. I think he might have mentioned that in his interview too. It was about this time that Renee and I learned of the ICA biannual conference, and that was in 2019 in Cancun, and we decided to submit a session proposal, which was graciously accepted. And we were very excited to learn more and do more with the folks that we were fortunate to meet and collaborate with. So as you know, and shortly after learning about the conference, Renee and I were invited to join the ICA CPTED and Schools Committee to assist in developing an approach to making schools safer and more comfortable. And I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a few minutes. But we're really fortunate to be a part of that group. And so recently, I've discovered the balance of CPTED and sustainable communities lies not only in the physical environment, but also in the social, psycho-emotional environments as well. I think that's extremely important, and that's how CPTED has been evolving over the past couple of decades.
Yes, you are completely right, Jeremy. And it's so nice to hear the whole story, because we are so active daily with all the ICA activities. And now to have this opportunity to hear the complete story, how you connected with CPTED, with the ICA. Of course, we met in Cancun. No, it's a great story to tell. We need to share that story, Jeremy. And please, can you describe a little further for the audience, how is CPTED in the United States? Because the United States is a super big country. So I imagine you have different states with different CPTED leaders, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with the current heightened civil and social challenges that we're facing in the United States, everyone is hyper aware for the continued need to nurture the trust building and the resilience in our communities. I believe the inherent nature of community building through the use of a comprehensive CPTED approach, that is, again, the physical, social, and psycho-emotional considerations, is really necessary to seek more sustainable and livable communities. We all need to be better neighbors and take care of each other. And that's really what it's all about. And so, yeah, the United States is a very diverse country, and we all have our set of social challenges in every part of the country. And I think that's what's really important to, the important message to deliver here in this interview is that, CPTED is extremely contextual, and not all solutions fit every challenge. So it's really important that whenever we work in a CPTED or work with a CPTED opportunity, we're really looking at the contextual environment and really seeking out what the true problem is, and then getting consensus. So that's extremely important. We are here to facilitate ideas, but it's the community who needs to tell us and themselves what they need to make their communities and neighborhoods more livable and more sustainable.
You are completely right, Jeremy, and that connects with my next question. You described some super interesting projects, some school CPTED interventions. When you realized that a CPTED intervention is successful, can you describe that?
Yeah, so as a practice, we're always trying to design safer and more comfortable environments for our communities. My interest is focused in designing student housing and higher education. That's where my passion is. Of course, I work on all different types of projects and environments, but in the housing world, in higher education, CPTED is very inherent with the design process for those living communities. It's really all about, it's community making, and it's community making at its best too. And what's really interesting is that the mechanics of the building community and providing a home for students is very much centered around Abraham Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs, which is often referred to in the student housing world. You'll hear it, we go to these student housing officer conferences, and they frequently refer to Maslow's theories. And so it's very much ingrained in their their wheelhouse. Maslow's theories are also seen on an analogy in the comprehensive approach, which we've been talking about in this interview, to CPTED, addressing the physical, social, and psycho-emotional environments as well.
I love your comment because it connects directly with CPTED third generation.
That's right.
That is very linked with the Maslow pyramid. In that sense, Jeremy, can you describe the relevance of the ICA that is becoming a bigger and global institution, and the Umbrella Initiative hand by hand with the CPTED third generation methodology now?
Yeah, sure. So the advent of the ICA Umbrella Initiative has brought chapter organization and heightened awareness to a variety of global societal challenges, and it's provided really a huge opportunity for our ICA community to come together with a shared knowledge and common understanding of our unique issues, which, again, goes back to all of these, this evolving, the evolving world problems or world challenges that we're facing. It really gives us, again, allows us to come together with a shared knowledge and have a common understanding of our unique issues. So the CPTED approach, of course, is contextual, especially when considering the neighborhoods and communities. And so, having this initiative, this umbrella initiative, allows us to all benefit where we can share experiences and have that structure in place. So I think it's extremely important to have that structure and bring more clarity to how CPTED is evolving into, the generations to come.
You're right, Jeremy. And in that sense, you have a very interesting role as editor of the ICA Newsletter to spread the word globally in all the Umbrella's initiative regions. So can you describe a little your role as editor and the relevance you think the ICA Newsletter has? Sure,
yeah. So as an editor, I assist in the review and coordination of articles that stream into this very important publication. And it's extremely satisfying and actually, very educational to me to see the very broad spectrum of research and real work behind CPTED from a global community of progressive thinkers and doers. That's, we're a consortium of thinkers and doers. And so, this newsletter is a great way to disseminate the progress that we're making as an organization, and also to spread the message that, CPTED is evolving. It's more than just the physical, more than just the social, and it's this and more than the psycho-emotional. It's really about bringing all those things together and thinking holistically about how we face daily challenges in our environments. And then on a related note, I'm also co-authoring with my fellow ICA colleagues a guidebook on the comprehensive approach. So I mentioned this before as being part of this CPTED in Schools committee. So we're developing this guidebook on the comprehensive approach to CPTED in schools. So it's very exciting to see this work come to formality, and we're really eager to have it available as soon as possible. Yes, I am very proud also of the guide, this guide that is coming very soon. It's an incredible product. You have done an incredible and professional work. Something that I want to highlight is that ICA is organized in different committees. We have some task forces committees, and we organize with other ICA board members. And it's very beautiful, the work, because everything is about teamwork.
we are working and building different teams. So you have been an incredible leader in that teams where you are working as editor and working with Manjari Kapoor from India, who is the leader of the newsletter committee also. And
Thank
also with the, yes, of course. No, I'm very proud and you are doing great, Jeremy. In that sense, please, can you describe or can you tell your experience with other members of the audience? Do you think it's positive to become an active ICA member?
Yes, absolutely. You know, not only would I recommend, but I do continue to promote the mission of ICA to all, you know, to all who are interested in community building, livability, and CPTED to become members. You know, being a member of ICA really does provide a huge range of information, access to incredible wealth and knowledge, access to research and forward thinking in the field of CPTED. You know, the ability to talk with like-minded professionals and academia, I think is very important, especially, you know, again, with the evolving CPTED environments, having that access to what's happening on a global scale is really important. So yes, becoming a member is very important, I think, for those who are really looking deeply into CPTED and community building.
Yes, yes, I agree completely with you. And just to spread the word, please visit our website, www.cpted.net. There you can find all the information to become an active ICA member. And as closing remarks, dear Jeremy, do you want to highlight some ideas for the audience?
Yeah, I just wanted to share a couple things. I think the first thing I wanted to address before we close is my direct kind of intervention, CPTED intervention with a specific project. I've worked on several projects where CPTED's been either directly or indirectly addressed. One very special project in particular I previously mentioned was rebuilding a community college classroom building where a tragic shooting took place. And in that project, a spectrum of safety concerns were considered, evaluated, and strategies were really put to test through a consensus of connectedness, community building, and inspiration as opposed to fortification, which we see a lot now as a misconception of CPTED. But more importantly, though, was that this campus community wanted a place for a trust building where students could gather and get to know one another. They didn't have anything like that on campus. And so students essentially went to class and went home at the end of the day with little opportunity to gather and to get to know one another. And so now this new building facilitates that type of space. And what's cool is that it's self-regulated by the students. It's really their space. So that's very exciting to see that, that evolution. And then another aspect of this new building that was important to the campus was the ability to visually see the activity inside and out. It is a very transparent design, and that is what they wanted. So again, we talk about context. The old building did not have the visual connections to the outside, and that gave the offender the opportunity to not be seen, and thus carry out the crime with little or no warning. So with this new building, the users really wanted to be able to see and be seen, like Jane Jacobs has said in her references. And then, as a final kind of closing remark, I just wanted to say that, on this Earth Day 2021, we should not only be serious and consider the urgency and the health and sustainability of our ecosphere, but we really also need to consider the health and sustainability of our communities. It's so important. We all share this planet, and we all need to take care of it and one another.
Thank you, Jeremy. I love your reflections. I think they're so relevant, so needed, and continue doing, please, your great work. Continue applying CPTED in those incredible projects and being our great editor, our great expert in the school committee. And thank you for all the commitment you have and your energy. And I hope you stay safe. And thank you for this incredible interview. Bye-bye, Jeremy.
Thank you so much, Macarena. Stay safe. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye,
Okay.
Jeremy.
See you soon. Thank you.